You need to hear this if you're struggling with a difficult person in charge. One of the things I hear you guys talking about a lot in the comments is the struggle to balance work and life, especially when work involves a boss who might not be winning any world's best awards anytime soon. And it's true, bad bosses, difficult work environments, they can really take a toll. So today we're diving deep into the world of workplace mental health. We're talking about 10 strategies, 10 life rafts to help you stay afloat, even when it feels like your job is trying to sink you. Because here's the thing, your mental health is important, like way more important than meeting some arbitrary deadline or dealing with a supervisor who loves the sound of their own voice a little too much. Welcome to our channel. Today we're diving into an important topic, maintaining your mental health in the workplace. Okay, so first up we're talking boundaries. Imagine your mental health is like this beautiful, delicate flower, right? It needs sunlight and water to thrive, but too much direct heat, too much pressure, and it wilts. Boundaries are like creating a little greenhouse around that flower, protecting it from the harsh elements. This might mean setting clear limits on your work hours. It might mean silencing those work notifications when you're off the clock. It might even mean saying no more often. We'll talk about that more later. The point is, your time, your energy, those are finite resources. You get to choose how you spend them. Don't let your job guilt you into thinking otherwise. Setting boundaries isn't selfish, it's an act of self-preservation, and it's essential for maintaining your mental well-being in the long run. Because when you protect your time and energy, you're protecting your ability to show up as your best self in all areas of life, not just at work. Remember, you are not your job. Your job is just one part of your life. Don't let it take over everything. Okay, so you're setting boundaries, you're building your fortress of solitude. That's awesome. But what about those moments when you're actually in the trenches, dealing with a difficult boss or a stressful situation? That's where mindfulness comes in. Now I know what you're thinking. Mindfulness? Jim Jam Bam, I can barely focus on this spreadsheet. You want me to meditate? And I hear you, I do. But mindfulness isn't about sitting in lotus pose for hours on end. It's about bringing your attention to the present moment without judgment. It's about noticing your thoughts and feelings without getting swept away by them. Think of it like this. Your mind is like a snow globe, right? And when stress hits, it's like someone shook that snow globe up. All these thoughts and emotions are swirling around, making it hard to see clearly. Mindfulness is like letting that snow globe settle. It's about finding that stillness within, even amidst the chaos. And the more you practice, the easier it becomes to access that calm, centered place, even when things around you feel crazy. Look, I'm all for independence and self-reliance, but even the strongest among us need support sometimes. And when it comes to dealing with a difficult work environment, having a solid support system can make all the difference. This could be your friends, your family, your significant other, even a therapist or counselor. The point is, these are people you can vent to, people who get it, people who can offer a listening ear or a shoulder to cry on when you need it most. Because bottling things up, trying to handle everything on your own, that's a recipe for burnout. And hey, maybe your support system isn't people you know in real life. Maybe it's an online community, a group of people who understand exactly what you're going through because they're going through it too. The point is, you don't have to go through this alone. There are people out there who want to support you, who want to see you thrive. So reach out, connect, let people in. You might be surprised by how much lighter it feels to share the load. Take a break, because even batteries need recharging. Okay, so imagine your brain is like a smartphone, right? You spend all day scrolling through emails, responding to messages, juggling tasks, basically running a million apps at once. Eventually, what happens? Your battery drains, you need to recharge. The same goes for your mental health. You can't expect to operate at 100% all the time without taking breaks to rest and recharge. And I'm not just talking about lunch breaks or the occasional weekend getaway. I'm talking about building regular breaks into your day, even small ones. Step away from your desk, go for a walk, listen to music, read a book, do something completely unrelated to work. Give your brain a chance to decompress, to process everything that's happening. And when you do sit down to work again, you'll be surprised by how much more focused and energized you feel. Trust me, those short breaks can make a world of difference in your overall well-being. Communication is key. learning to speak your truth, respectfully, of course. Communication. It's kind of important, right? And when you're dealing with a difficult boss, clear, assertive communication is essential. But I get it, speaking up to someone in a position of power can be intimidating, but here's the thing. You have a right to advocate for yourself. You have a right to voice your concerns, to set boundaries, to ask for what you need. And often when you communicate clearly and respectfully, you might be surprised by the positive response you receive. Now, I'm not saying it's always going to be easy or comfortable. There might be times when you have to have tough conversations, when you have to stand your ground. But trust me, learning to communicate effectively is a skill that will serve you well, both in the workplace and in life. Control what you can, because worrying about the rest is like shouting at a hurricane. Here's a hard truth. You can't control everything. In fact, you can only control a very small percentage of what happens in your life. You can't control the weather, you can't control traffic, and you definitely can't control your boss's bad mood. But here's what you can control: your own reactions. You can choose how you respond to situations, how you let things affect you. So instead of wasting energy worrying about things you can't change, focus on what you can control. Focus on your own actions, your own attitude, your own mindset. It's like that old saying, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, courage to change the things I can, and wisdom to know the difference. Okay, so you might not have control over the entire company culture, but you can create little pockets of positivity in your own workspace. Think of it like this. You're planting little seeds of joy and watching them grow. Maybe it's decorating your desk with things that make you happy. Maybe it's listening to uplifting music. Maybe it's taking a few minutes to chat with a coworker who always brightens your day. And hey, if you're feeling really ambitious, maybe you can even inspire others to create a more positive work environment too. Start a gratitude jar, organize a team-building activity, or simply make an effort to compliment your coworkers more often. Remember, positivity is contagious, and even small acts of kindness can have a ripple effect, making your workplace a little brighter for everyone. Okay, so this one is so important, I can't stress it enough. You can't pour from an empty cup. You can't show up as your best self at work, in your relationships, in life in general, if you're running on fumes. Self-care isn't selfish, it's essential. It's about prioritizing your own well-being so you can be the best version of yourself for you and for everyone around you. This means different things for different people. Maybe it's taking a long bath, reading a good book, going for a run, spending time in nature, or simply taking a few minutes to just breathe and be present. The point is, find what fills your cup, what brings you joy, what makes you feel alive, and make it a non-negotiable part of your routine. Okay, so this one can be tough, especially for those of us who are people pleasers or who have a hard time saying no. But learning to set limits, to say no to additional tasks or commitments when you're already feeling overwhelmed, is crucial for protecting your mental health. And here's the thing, you don't have to be mean or rude about it. You can say no gracefully, you can offer alternatives, you can explain that you're at capacity right now, but you'd be happy to help with whatever it is at a later time. Remember, you're not a superhero, you can't do everything, and that's okay. It's better to say no to a few things so you can show up fully for the things that truly matter. Okay, so we've talked about a lot of strategies for dealing with a difficult work environment, but it's important to remember that sometimes, even with the best coping mechanisms, you might need a little extra support. And that's where seeking professional help comes in. There's no shame in asking for help. In fact, it's a sign of strength. It takes courage to acknowledge when you're struggling and to reach out for guidance. A therapist or counselor can provide you with tools and strategies to navigate challenging situations, to manage stress, to improve your overall well-being. Remember, you're not alone in this. There are people who care, people who want to help. So there you have it, 10 strategies for staying mentally strong at work, even when you're dealing with a difficult boss. Remember, your mental health matters, it's worth fighting for. It's not always easy, but it is possible to create a more positive and fulfilling work experience even in the face of challenges. So keep showing up for yourself, keep setting boundaries, keep prioritizing your well-being, and remember, you've got this. Thanks for watching. If you found these tips helpful, make sure to subscribe and follow our page for more insightful content. Take care of your mental health and see you in the next video.